So now, I think this is pretty kind of ties into what we were talking about just now. We were talking about rugby and powerlifting and how they tie to each other, and now I kind of want to talk a bit about the competitive mentality behind it, right? Like so, facing like I guess adversity right in the moment, right? When you're in the moment, like let's say you're about to charge, right? You're locked up in the scrum, or you're about to go hit out your first squat, or about to go for your first attempt, right? What sort of mentality do you carry in? Like what are you thinking about? Like what's the feeling that's going through you?
Well, something that I've learned throughout the years is usually, 2 weeks or 3 weeks before competition, every night I'll spare myself 5 to 10 minutes to visualize things. All right. So what I'd do is before I sleep, I would just, visualize how I would pack things, how I would, walk into the meet, get ready, get my chair. It's those things. You got to repeat it over and over again, and it will become something on that meet itself. I would think of how I would approach the bar when they call my name. I get things, wrist strap ready, belt ready, someone slapping my back, those kind of things. That's the key point for me because I keep on visualizing, so I make no mistakes. I minimize things, all the hiccups and whatever mishaps. And yeah, coming towards mentality, it's just blank actually, just blank. Don't think much. Don't really think about the weights on the bar. Don't really think about the pain that I'm going through at that point of time. I just go, head on to
Mm,
smash it. Yeah, it's pretty clear actually. I don't think a lot when I'm lifting. Just scream, just to clear the nerves.
mm,
Some people think of dark things. Some people think about family and everything. I don't think about anything. It's just about screaming. Take a deep breath, clear yourself. All the visualization has gone into that day itself.
mm,
It's all into a what do you call this? Packed into a ball, and you're ready to go. That's all.
mm. How does that fare with like rugby? Let's say like what the mentality? What kind of mentality do you have in rugby? Is it the same thing? Like is it blank as well, or was it more like tactics you have to think about, or
So you can't be black in rugby because you need to have the ball in your hand, or else it wouldn't be called rugby. But usually, I would go to my coach, and we get nervous sometimes. We get nervous, especially when it comes to tournaments. You're in the finals. Anything could happen. One stupid try, one stupid mistake, and your team loses.
high stakes, right?
So
Yeah.
yeah, what I would do back then was I have two coaches. I had two coaches. Um, they would always tell me, I mean, like, Zaro, you don't need to do anything else. You just get the ball and run straight. And I kept that thing in my mind. I mean, it's just one piece of line, get the ball and run straight. But it worked. It worked. You don't have to think of so many things. Oh, I need to pass to that guy. I need to do this. I need to, chip and chase or whatever. You just need to have that something, that one thing, and you just focus on it. Put everything you have into it. You'll definitely do well. Trust me.
Mm.
Unless if you're not fit enough, I guess.
Oh, that's something like training discipline and everything you got to cover,
Yes.
right? But yeah, what about you, Darren? Like, what's your mentality going into powerlifting versus, let's say, going into an MMA fight?
Before the meet and before the fight, just really well. I try to stay relaxed and try to conserve as much energy as possible, mentally and physically. It's only really before the actual lifting that I would say mentality is a little bit different. Like I need a lot of intensity,
Mm,
before I get to the top. You have to fire up. You need to get the adrenaline running, and you need to have enough stimulus um, as possible without losing tension. You know,
mm,
as long as you can control the bar and and work the weight, that's what you really need to do. In MMA, you cannot do that for 5 minute rounds. You get a massive adrenaline dump after the first round, and you gas out. And so I approach the fight and I approach the fight the same way I do training, very relaxed. I try to focus on what's really going on, and that and try and flow, if that makes sense. Kind of go on autopilot and let your body do its thing and look for little things and see how it reacts. That's all from training.
Right.
Practicing moves and combinations day in day out, transitions. And I guess it's the same in powerlifting. Like the strength's built in the gym over months. It's not what you're gonna do on the day based on what you have for breakfast. Yeah, mentally, I'm calm before the meet and before the fight. It's just that, right down to the wire, like right before the actual point of exertion. That's when
Get in the zone.
get in the zone. Sorry, man, I'm so long-winded, but basically, yeah,
it's okay, man. Yeah,
very intense before the lift, and in a fight, I'd be really intense towards the finish. When I've hurt the guy, trying to finish him off, or when I've got a good position, trying to squeeze for a submission or something. That's when the intensity comes in. So it's balancing that mental pace.
Right. So I guess from you guys have said, like the similarities is that like you really are just kind of focused on one thing, like executing, like regardless of whatever sport it is, right? It's in the moment when it matters. It's about just focusing and just tunneling down what you got to do, and what, and that's what matters, right? Because that makes all the difference. So I was just wondering, which do you guys find more like exciting, like throughout your, like, I mean, the different sports histories, like which is more kind of close to the heart, or which is something that really makes you feel a little something, feel a certain way. Is it the adrenaline of charging into the zone, or is it like right as you're grinding out like a lift, or what about it is which is more exciting? Yeah, like even like MMA as well. Like, I mean, like going to a fight, like which do you guys find more, I guess, to your liking? Like
it's different, man. Like so the highest highs I've ever had are from fighting. Nothing beats putting in a 8-week camp and winning a fight, man. That's as good as it gets. But training an MMA fight is horrible. It's excruciating stuff. You're training 2 times a day, and there's some days you wake up hurt or dizzy from concussions or whatever, and you're just trying to work around it, and it's a really hard sort of life. That's one reason I never went pro. Something like lifting, going to the gym and having my time alone, or having my time with training partners and friends, and really focusing on something to stress, that brings a different kind of joy and serenity into my life, and it's an activity that is healthy. So training for health and training for comp, different things. You should feel better after training than before you went in, But you don't get that in MMA. Some days you go in, hard day of sparring, you're like, oh man, why did I do this, man? But the fight itself is fun. So yeah.
Right.
I kind of separate the two, like what I enjoy in training, which is something more long term, and what I enjoy competing in. I enjoy competing in MMA. I actually do enjoy competing in powerlifting too, because there isn't that kind of external stress. It's all about myself. Like, it's just me in the bar. I shouldn't really be worried if some guy's benching or squatting or deadlifting more. That's down to him. I should be supporting him the best he can be. People do the same for you, right? At meets.
Yeah, then that's a very good insight. What about you, Zaro? Which high do you prefer?
Pretty much the same thing. But for me, I mean, I've never done fighting before, so I don't know the feeling of it. But rugby and powerlifting.
Strongman is strongman as well, like.
Yeah. I mean, strongman and powerlifting is the same thing. It's similar to me, at least. Well, rugby is a team game, so I've always been someone who's really into sports since I was a kid. You know, I used to do shot put, used to represent the state and everything.
Oh, what was your
But
biggest shot put? What was the furthest shot put you did?
I think 15 meters,
Oh
15
shit,
point something.
15.
Yeah.
Damn.
I placed third or something like that in the MSSM, which is the nationals.
Emerson, yeah.
And I actually got invited to join for the weightlifting team for KL, but I declined it because you know I'm not flexible and I know myself well, much better than anyone else there. Um, yeah, coming back to the question, I prefer sports that involve just yourself. Well, this is very selfish sounding, but I mean, at the end of the day, when you do something, you want to be known for it. You want to be, you know, recognized for the things that you've done. You know, if you're in a team, because I got selected for nationals as well for rugby, if you get injured, let's say you're in the national team and you get injured, they can replace you anytime. All right. So, what's the fun in it? What's the appreciation in it? So that's the main reason. Because I spoke to one of my coach back then, he told me like, you know, you're juggling two sports at the same time, and both are really taxing. You need to choose one. And I'm like, I went back. Took me about a few days. I was really young. I told myself I love powerlifting more. Unfortunately, so I went to powerlifting because I like the energy. Like you can see Darren or maybe yourself. You guys are very composed when it comes to lifting. Like for from my experience, I've seen Darren competing. He's very chill. Even in MMA, he would just people announce his name. You know his Sabahan Lagu, the music. Oh, I love that song, man. And then he just walk with a straight face, like
Yeah, yeah, the straight face.
you, yeah. No, you can actually tell that this guy, he's actually really autopiloting everything,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he
yeah.
did well.
Right,
And
right.
he did very well. He just walked inside there, and then the fight starts, and he just do his thing.
Yeah.
But I'm the opposite. I need to get things under my control. I like the energy. Like for him, maybe he clears his mind and okay, me and my opponent. But for me, no. I need the energy from the crowd. Actually, that's how
Mm,
I fit into the energy. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
like especially for me when I'm trying to raise the bar higher and higher. Like I've done 350 deadlift in competition, so I'm gonna set it higher and higher. So the excitement, at least for me, is there. And then when I walk into the platform and someone knows that, oh, this is both, what was the best. I mean, oh,
Mm,
what's the current best done in Malaysia? So they know, and you just switch it on. Like usually, I would just raise my arms and just pretend that I can't hear shit. So I want everyone to shout, and I get the energy and the hype. So it's more fun. It's
mm.
the thing about powerlifting that a lot of people missing is it's not really just you and the barbell on the platform. It's about entertaining the crowd as
Yeah, it's
well.
the
That's
crowd.
how I feel. That's how I see it because you can see the crowd is very slow. After hours of watching multiple tons of lifters, they get really bored. So you need to switch them on as well.
Yeah, yeah,
They
get
need a
people
bit of
excited.
kick as well. Yeah, they need to get off their seats as well. So the point when you achieve that lift, you're able to live that lift, and you just look at the crowd and they're just looking at you screaming, and you everyone is screaming, and that's the fun of it. That's something that even when I'm old, I won't forget.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're in like a whole a whole stadium of supporters as well, yelling at you.
yeah, man.
Dude, that must be like the best feeling, like just
Oh
having
man,
people, yeah, just blowing people's
I
socks
mean,
off.
if you smash someone in what 20 seconds, obviously everyone's going crazy, bro.
it's just tunnel vision, bro.
I saw
Yeah,
that match. I
yeah,
was there, bro.
yeah.
Oh my
Which
god.
match was this? Is this on YouTube?
I can't remember, but it was from
The second,
2017 or 18.
yeah.
Yeah, you were the
Um,
defending champion. And okay, another funny story that happened when I went there was okay. It was really crowded, car parked everywhere and everything. I came with my friends, and our car got blocked. So it became very handy that I am strong.
Right.
I shifted the car.
Okay. Okay. Casually.
I shifted the car
Yeah.
so he could reverse back, and we could have gone home. Or if I wasn't there, we would have been waiting.
That's true. Oh man,
Yeah,
just little things.
yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. All right. Yeah, that's a very interesting insight to the mentality of competing. You know,
You
and
have two different worlds.
that's
A
true.
very chill guy, a very hectic kind of mindset that
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, personally going in like you said something really important about visualization, and I think that that's something that is like so key, you know, to like to executing, you know, lifts, like even not just in comp, right? Like let's say even in training, like if there's a big training day coming up, right? It's like, you know, you gotta like prep yourself as well, you know, otherwise, you know, you don't really know what's gonna happen, and you lose control of a lot of things. And yeah, what you said about visualization kind of really struck with me, because I think that that's something that I think a lot of athletes, athletes at least, yeah.
You'd be surprised that a lot of athletes, well, maybe it doesn't work for them, but a lot
Mm.
of them doesn't know that these things exist.
Yeah. So like a lot of my like clients as well. Like whenever when a big day is coming, I tell you that you just visualize it. You know, visualize, because that's actually so important, because you can see yourself doing it, right? And that kind of takes away the whole "I can't do it" mindset. You know, like it's like I see myself doing it. I'm
It
gonna go
makes
do it.
yourself ready. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.